You're listening to the Acadiana's Morning News Podcast, brought to you by LABI and always on KPEL965.com.
Child abuse, BACA, exists with the intent to create a safer environment for abused children. We exist as a body of bikers to empower children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. We stand ready to lend support to our wounded friends by involving them with an established, united organization. We work in conjunction with local and state officials who are already in place to protect children. We desire to send a clear message to all involved with the abused child that this child is part of our organization and that we are prepared to lend our physical and emotional support to them by affiliation and our physical presence. We stand at the ready to shield these children from further abuse. We do not condone the use of violence or physical force in any manner. However, if circumstances arise such that we are the only obstacle preventing a child from further abuse, we stand ready to be that obstacle. If you'd like to know more about BACA, please visit our website at bacaworld.org or call 1-866-71-ABUSE.
I want to help more kids graduate from high school.
Help more families learn how to budget and save.
I want my neighbors to have access to health care.
Help create opportunities for everyone in your community. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette. Broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studio. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
It's the earliest debate ever. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A Biden-Trump showdown tonight, the CNN presidential debate.
Democrats are already trying to get under Donald Trump's skin. The DNC paid money to buy out 5 of these billboards here in the Atlanta area, putting up near highways out here, going after Trump for his recent felony conviction. It says, quote, Donald, welcome to Atlanta for the first time since becoming a convicted felon.
Fox's Bill Malugin near the debate site.
We expect to see both Trump and Biden showing up here in Atlanta in the coming hours. Trump, as we all know, really hasn't been preparing for the debate. He hasn't been doing mock debates. He prefers to be out on the campaign trail, meeting with his voters. Biden taking a complete opposite approach. He has been holed up at Camp David with more than a dozen advisors coaching him up.
2 national polls the last 2 days from Quinnipiac and the New York Times give former president a 4-point lead over President Biden. We'll get more rulings this morning from the Supreme Court, where those pro-choice protesters support a challenge to an Idaho abortion law. The court briefly and inadvertently posted a document online appearing to show the justices may decide in favor of an attempt to allow emergency abortions to protect a mother's health, but that is not the only ruling we're waiting for.
Justices have other major opinions left to publish before the term ends, including former President Trump's immunity claim in his federal election interference trial.
Fox's Jared Halpern. A funerals today in Houston, Texas.
Jocelyn Nungry's friends and family will gather to honor the 12-year-old just 2 weeks after her murder.
Fox's Brooke Singman.
Jocelyn's lifeless body was found in a creek 2 weeks ago. Police say she was strangled to death by 2 illegal migrants from Venezuela.
They're now jailed on a murder charge, could face the death penalty. Last night, Texas executed a killer for a 2001 kidnapping murder. In the death chamber, Ramiro Gonzalez admitted he caused people pain. His last words, I hope one day you will forgive me. Then he was lethally injected. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than what we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with a proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. I trust Birch Gold. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantaged status. So text PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message and data rates may apply.
Days after some of the charges were dropped in New York City against some pro-Palestinian protesters who stormed into and took over a building on the Columbia University campus. We get this from the University of Texas.
79 criminal trespass cases were dismissed from the April demonstration.
The university saying at the time that many of the protesters weren't affiliated with the school and that encampments were prohibited. Travis County Attorney Dahlia Garz says other cases involving other offenses remain pending, but she says her office determined it couldn't meet the legal burden to prove the cases beyond a reasonable doubt. At campuses across the nation this spring, demonstrators sparred over the Israel-Hamas war. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
A COVID fraud case has now turned into a jury bribery case.
The 5 defendants from Minnesota were on trial in connection with the theft of more than $40 million from a federal program aimed at feeding kids during the pandemic. The U.S. Attorney's Office and the FBI said during the trial, a juror was offered a bag filled with $120,000 in cash. Now the defendants are each charged with 1 count of conspiracy to bribe a juror, 1 count of bribery of a juror, and 1 count of corruptly influencing a juror. 2 of the 5, Abdiaziz Shafi Farah and Abdimajid Mohammed Noor, were convicted in the fraud trial earlier this month. Jill Nato, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stock futures are down the day after some modest gains. The NBA draft started last night.
With the first pick in the 2024 NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Zachary Rizache.
Commissioner Adam Silver on ESPN. 4 of the first-round picks were from France, including the second choice, Alex Sarr of the Washington Wizards. 2-time College Player of the Year, Zach Edey from Purdue, went 9th to Memphis. Round 2 of the draft is this afternoon. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the KPEL News app. Now the headlines from the KPEL News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Thursday, June 27th. Former Youngsville Police Chief Ricky Boudreaux has announced that he will run for the seat he previously held. Boudreaux officially retired last August, citing serious health issues as his reason for stepping away. At the time, Boudreaux was also the target of an investigation over possible malfeasance. Interim Police Chief Cody Louvier is hoping to hold the position permanently and will also be on the ballot for chief. A third person, J.P. Broussard, announced his run earlier this week. Lafayette police have identified the victim in Tuesday night's shooting on Robley Drive as 18-year-old Torrin Martin. They say the 3 suspects who were arrested after a police chase were booked on charges unrelated to that homicide. Detectives are still actively investigating the shooting. Crowley police are looking for a fugitive. 33-year-old Verice Charles Ozone of Rain is wanted on charges of home invasion and attempted second-degree murder. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Crowley Police or Acadia Parish Crime Stoppers. The Lafayette Parish School System has begun collecting community input as an independent strategic planner continues its evaluation of the district. Community feedback sessions are scheduled on July 17th at 6 o'clock at both Acadiana High and Northside High, and on July 18th at 6 o'clock at Southside High. LPSS is also asking Lafayette residents to take a brief survey about community priorities. That survey is posted at lpssonline.com. LCG is hosting a public meeting to provide the community with an update on the Brown Park project. The information about construction and milestones follows a public meeting in March when officials gathered information from the community. The meeting is scheduled for July 10th at 6 o'clock at the Dupuy Rec Center. Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that would have given his office the ability to pardon, without pardon board recommendation, certain first-time offenders who are guilty of possessing less than 14 grams of marijuana. Landry's veto letter says the bill is an attempt to have the state accept President Biden's invitation to join his soft-on-crime, no consequences for criminals agenda. New Orleans Representative Delisha Boyd, who sponsored the bill, says the intent was not to prevent people from being arrested, but rather an attempt to give individuals a second chance so they would have a fair opportunity at things like employment and housing that require a criminal background check. A Louisiana businessman says his insurance rates are up over 40%, and he's not sure how long he can take it. Todd Hine, the owner of Hine Environmental Services, a small waste services business in Sulphur, says he's been told auto insurance rates are going up because of the state's legal climate. Hine says his insurance payments went from $300,000 to over $1 million, which he was able to negotiate down. Hine met with Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, who told him insurance relief would come from tort reform legislation. However, that's on hold after Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that attempted to prevent windfall judgments for car crash victims. Landry expressed concern the bill would prevent a car crash victim from getting the judgment they deserved and would hurt the everyday working citizen. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz.
This hour of Acadiana's Morning News has been brought to you by Jani King. The King of Clean has been a leader in the cleaning industry on the Gulf Coast for over 35 years. To find out more about their cleaning and disinfecting services, head to their website at janiking.com.
The Rustic Renegade is your one-stop shop in Lafayette for firearms, concealment furniture, men's grooming products, and our locally roasted coffee.
Acadiana drivers, did you know that bicycles are considered vehicles under Louisiana law? Cyclists have the right to use the roadway same as motor vehicles. You're urged to share the road by giving a buffer zone of at least 3 feet when passing a cyclist. Yield to cyclists as you would another motorist. And remember, a cyclist does not have the protection of a vehicle if they're in a crash. Protect your fellow citizens on bicycles. This announcement was brought to you by Bike Lafayette. Learn more at bikelafayette.org.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Take a look at your traffic conditions right now. We have a minor traffic accident. Shimon-Metairie Parkway in Youngsville, Shimon-Metairie Parkway in the 4000 block. A minor traffic accident with no injuries. Stay safe out there. Acadiana's Morning News is coming up. Good morning. It is Thursday, June. What is today?
27th.
June 27th. All right. Oh, Trace. Jamie Angel joining you with Tracy Wirtz.
Yeah, he's driving the bus today because he will take over. He will take over the route
Monday.
morning. Ready or not, here you come.
With bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Is that still a thing?
I don't know. Yeah. I always come in blurry-eyed with my tail, looking like I've gone through a car wash. But,
Well, you and I have both lived that morning show life for a while now.
Oh, without a doubt. Absolutely.
Both stomped around the same grounds over the years, and good times.
Yeah, it is what it is. And today is June 27th. What are we celebrating today?
Today, there's a lot going on.
Uh-huh.
It is National Sunglasses Day.
Uh-huh.
I know you don't find that exciting, but
No, I do, because I am a sunglass
connoisseur
freak.
Really?
Oh yeah, and I'm all about the cheap sunglasses. Cheap sunglasses, done it. No, anyway, my husband at one point said, "How many pair do you need? You can only wear one at a time." And I said, "That's like asking me how many pairs of shoes I need."
Yeah,
I'm a lady. Don't worry about it.
My problem is I'll buy the nice ones. I bought a nice pair of Oakleys back when I was deployed a long time ago. I lost them.
Yeah, I don't buy. That's exactly why I don't buy expensive sunglasses.
The cheap pairs, the cheap Target or Walmart or wherever.
Dollar Tree.
Still got them. You can't even get rid of them. Still got them. It is National Onion Day. For those of you who like the aromatics, National Ice Cream Cake Day.
Oh, I'm all about it.
So if
I'm
it's your
all
birthday
about that. Yeah.
today, National PTSD Awareness Day, which is always good. National Handshake Day is always the last Thursday in June.
I always try to have a good handshake, like when you have a handshake where you've got to clasp between your thumb and your forefinger. That's one of the things, because not just shake a hand with the fingers, because that's a
firm.
But I am not, I don't like it. Some men especially. I don't, I'm a woman. My hand,
You don't
I
like
just
the hand
don't
crusher.
Yes. And some people just do that instinctively. As a matter of fact, I shook somebody's hand this week and it was quick and I wanted to say ouch, but I didn't look, I didn't want to look like a wuss. Yeah. So I like a firm handshake. I like to go in and, like real handshake, not the girly handshake with the, fingers. But dude, just, yeah.
I go in strong, and if I'm unimpressed with the person, I go a little limp, and it makes them extremely uncomfortable.
I bet it does. I bet it does.
Little thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about today in history. Go ahead. Take it away.
Okay, so on this date in 1950, the UN Security Council passed a resolution calling on member nations to help South Korea repel an invasion from the north. And we mentioned, or I don't think you were here the other day, but the Korean War, I'm sure you've been to D.C., they have all the war memorials. My favorite one is the Korean War Memorial. It is
the sculptures and
oh my gosh,
so cool.
It's so profound.
I used to live there. It's my favorite city in the world.
Yeah,
and I was stationed out at Fort Meade in Maryland, and I would take my daughter, and we go to D.C. every weekend and just walk. Everything's free. I mean, all the museums are free. It's just a beautiful city.
Yeah, but that's my favorite memorial.
Let's go to Illinois. On this day in 1955, Illinois became the first U.S. state to make it compulsory, means make it mandatory, by law to wear a seatbelt. Thanks, Illinois.
Yeah, no kidding. They started it. On this date in 1957, we still have people today who remember this very well. Hurricane Audrey slammed into coastal Louisiana and Texas as a Category 4 storm. The initial official death toll from the storm was placed at 390, although a variety of state, federal, and local sources have estimated the number of fatalities to be between 400 and 600. And, this was 1957, so it was a lot more difficult to quantify those things, right? Yeah, but a lot of folks still talk about Audrey and Camille.
Yep, I remember those. And then,
I wasn't there, but...
Same. I don't remember them. I remember talking about them. But when you think about it, though, it's put things in perspective. 2005 Katrina, was it over 3,000 or a few thousand people died? You'd think all these years later we would have come a longer way.
But New Orleans, it wasn't so much a direct result of the storm. It was more indirect. And, but that was, I think Katrina is kind of like 9/11 in that it will always be an historical benchmark.
Absolutely. Hope to never repeat it.
No, either of those events, by the way.
And in 2005, this one's a weird one. BTK serial killer Dennis Rader pleaded guilty to 10 murders that had spread fear across Wichita, Kansas, beginning in the 1970s.
I remember that. There's been a few television movies or television series that have either told the story or used it as a foundation for their plot lines.
What does the BTK stand for?
You're going to make me look it up now.
Or somebody call us. Tell us.
I'm going to find out. In 2006, a constitutional amendment to ban desecration of the American flag died in a Senate cliffhanger, falling one vote short of the 67 needed to send it to the states for ratification. And I understand it's freedom of speech, but man, my heart does not like it when somebody desecrates the flag.
Same. Freedom of speech for sure, but I think this was sort of a way to kind of isolate that from falling under that umbrella and give it its own amendment. So would have been interesting.
Yes.
In 2011, former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich.
I had to put this in there because he is a shyster.
Blagojevich.
Yeah, but I liked to say Blagojevich.
Blagojevich.
It sounds like you're hawking a loogie.
He was convicted by a federal jury in Chicago on a wide range of corruption charges, including the allegation that he tried to sell or trade President Barack Obama's U.S. Senate seat.
Yeah.
Blagojevich was later sentenced to 14 years in prison, and his sentence was commuted by President Donald Trump in February 2020. And he's also come out recently vehemently defending former President Trump against the New York trial that convicted, because he's like, I've been there, done that, buddy.
Yep. On this date in 2022, the Supreme Court said a high school football coach who sought to kneel and pray on the field after games was protected by the Constitution. Opponents said the decision would open the door to much more coercive prayer in public schools. And I got to agree with the Supreme Court. Here's the thing. Was he forcing anybody to do it with him?
No. I don't know why people get so butthurt over if somebody wants to kneel and pray. What?
Yeah, because here's the thing. And I think that it's a lot of times that Christianity specifically is targeted, because if someone of another religion, Muslims have the rugs and they pray, they do the, what do you call that?
Call to prayer?
Huh?
The call to prayer?
Yeah, where they lean over and, if they did that, then it would be, I feel like it would be celebrated. Oh, we're, it's, that's diversity in our culture and whatever. But I can't kneel to pray. You're going to, again, double standard. Don't
Woke.
like it.
Too woke.
Yep.
All right. Well, time now, 6:20. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have more of Acadiana's Morning News. Stay with us.
The cyborgs have arrived, not necessarily from the future, and we don't know if they're targeting future resistance leaders. Tokyo University says their scientists are successfully attaching real human skin to the face of robots. This is accomplished by copying human skin tissue and then tying it down to the artificial material that makes up the underlying face bones, if you will, of the robot's visage. Those tie-downs are made of elastin and collagen. They're essentially ligaments. The end result isn't something resembling a young and brawny Arnold Schwarzenegger, but the skin more easily moved with the robot's movement, unlike a synthetic covering. And if it did tear, it healed itself. The researchers say they'll spend years learning about the applications for these techniques, but it could be useful to learn things about aging or plastic and reconstructive surgery. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
4th of July is next week. Do you have your plans for the grill? Because it's like kind of an unofficial rule. Well, Rouse's has some ideas for you, and they're going to make them more than affordable. Check this out. Rouse's Markets has USDA Grade A Sanderson Farms boneless, skinless, fresh chicken breasts. Those are awesome on the grill. $1.99 a pound for fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Heck, you could buy some and put them in the freezer for later. That is a savings, by the way, of $2 a pound. And USDA prime beef T-bone steaks, just $9.99 a pound. You save $10 a pound. That is just insane, but Rouse's wants to save you money, and they're serious about it. Fresh, large, seeded watermelons, just $5.88. Nothing better than some cool watermelon on a hot day. That's a savings of $3.11. And 12-count single-serve and 10 to 12-ounce bags of community coffee, just $4.97. You'll save over $4.50 on each one. You need to go by Rouse's. Get ready for 4th of July. Get ready for that cookout, and maybe stock the freezer with some meat for later. Find more savings in store and online, because they have dozens at rouses.com. Party at Rock and Bowl all weekend, starting on Thursday with 4 horses. Friday, parade route. Saturday, GTO party band. And Sunday, chubby carrier. Tickets now at rockandbowl.com. God bless you, God love you, and thank God for you.
Media Minute with Howard Kurtz.
Today's biggest media story yesterday, looking like a colossal screw-up by the Supreme Court. According to Bloomberg News, the decision in a case involving Idaho hospitals was briefly, and the court says, inadvertently posted on its website before being taken down. But Bloomberg reporting that the court was at least moving in the direction of allowing or requiring emergency abortions if the woman's life was at stake in Idaho hospitals, but on technical grounds. But now I'm thinking, this never happens. And it was, of course, the colossal leak of the Dobbs decision overturning Roe v. Wade that shattered court precedent. Now, this also has to do with abortion. Could it possibly be the same source? The idea that it's just a coincidence, I'm not sure I'm buying. With your Media Minute, Howie Kurtz, Fox News.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Taking a look at traffic conditions out there, we're still seeing this minor traffic accident with no injuries in the 4000 block of Shimon-Metairie Parkway. That's the 4000 block of Shimon-Metairie Parkway in Youngsville. Traffic accident with no injuries. Stay safe out there if you're hitting the road. Good morning. Time now, 6:27. Jamie Angel here with Tracy Wirt.
Good morning. It's 6:27 on 6:27.
It is 6:27.
On 6:27. Isn't that cool? June 27th. Can you believe that June is, I mean, half of the year is going to be gone.
I can't wrap my head. You know, we had this conversation the other day. Once you hit 40, it's over. It's over.
Stop it. Oh my gosh, I'm going to throw something at you. It's not over.
It just goes so fast.
That's because like you have a 2-month-old.
Oh yeah.
That's why you
19-month-old.
feel like it.
19.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I mean, do you know what causes that? I know. No, I'm kidding. he's you were saying that you woke him up this morning, maybe on accident. They are fun.
Might have made a little extra noise because he wakes up sweet. He's like,
Yeah.
hey.
Hey. His mom was like,
Oh, she gave me the stank eye.
oh yeah, I'd have given you the stink eye too. St. Jude. I didn't realize they had pulled the winners of everything. Congratulations to Mark Van Ho of Abbeville, who won a $2,500 Visa gift card, compliments of the UPS store. A $10,000 Visa gift card, courtesy of Dream Day Foundation, went to Mary Angel of Lafayette. A car. You win a car. You get a car. And you get a
Everybody
car.
gets a car.
A 2024 Honda HR-VLX, donated by Dream Day Foundation and Team Honda of Acadiana. Joseph Menard of Youngsville driving away in that one. Oh, gosh, it just gave me here's an ad for you. We have a $10,000 gift certificate toward a residential home generator plus installation, courtesy of Sirius Power Generation. Now, that's pretty cool. Went to Patrick Dupuy of Karen Crow. And drum roll, please, the winner of the 2024 St. Jude Dream Home, valued at $675,000, Donna Mosing of Broussard. So congratulations. I have a friend who won the St. Jude Dream Home. Probably.
That's for Donna.
Congratulations. I thought a bus was coming. A friend who actually won the St. Jude Dream Home, and they lived in Crowley. And his wife was like, we're selling our home. We're moving to Lafayette. And that's exactly what they did. Beautiful home.
I think Dr. Brophy was hoping that I would win, so she really wanted me to move to Lafayette.
No kidding, huh? She was like, come to Lafayette. Come
That's good. You got to advocate.
That's right. But anyway, congratulations to all of the St. Jude Dream Home winners, and there are several great prizes. So I might have to buy my ticket next year since I won't be technically affiliated. I know.
Buy a ticket every year, and I was just thinking about that. It's like, man, now I can't win.
Right?
But you are going to Lafayette Parish School System, and don't they do didn't they give away a house last year?
Yes. Love Our Schools. And as a matter of fact, it's going to happen again this year, which I will not be able to participate. Or I won't. I mean, I don't know I don't know what the rules are regarding that, but I wouldn't, just because the optics would be really bad if I won.
Well, I'm going to buy a ticket.
Yeah. Well, you buy a ticket for that one, and I will buy a ticket for St. Jude Dream Home. I haven't been able to for a number of years because I worked for an affiliate, so. I'm kind of excited about that. KPEL News Time, 6:31.
This is House Call for Health. A girl in Illinois gets more than 100 board games for her birthday. 10-year-old Maya Schaub raised more than $1,000 on GoFundMe and used the money to buy 130 board games. The games, though, aren't for Maya. She donated them to Advocate Children's Hospital.
I know going to the hospital can be scary, especially for kids. I want kindness to be contagious and everybody to appreciate each other and respect each other. Candyland, Micro, Series, Simon. We got a lot of games.
Certified child life specialist at the hospital, Katie Steinberg, telling Fox TV affiliate WFLD, quote, "It blew me away when she told me how much she raised and how many board games she got and the care that she puts into all of her donations. You can tell that she is such a caring person." Maya's past service projects include Birthday in a Box for people who couldn't risk getting sick during the pandemic and a free food pantry outside a public library. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health, I'm Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the Cape Hill News app. Now the headlines from the Cape Hill News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Thursday, June 27th. Former Youngsville Police Chief Ricky Boudreau has announced that he will run for the seat he previously held. Boudreau officially retired last August, citing serious health issues as his reason for stepping away. At the time, Boudreau was also the target of an investigation over possible malfeasance. Interim Police Chief Cody Louvier is hoping to hold the position permanently and will also be on the ballot for chief. A third person, J.P. Broussard, announced his run earlier this week. Lafayette police have identified the victim in Tuesday night's shooting on Robley Drive as 18-year-old Torrin Martin. They say the three suspects who were arrested after a police chase were booked on charges unrelated to that homicide. Detectives are still actively investigating the shooting. Crowley police are looking for a fugitive. 33-year-old Verice Charles Ozone of Rain is wanted on charges of home invasion and attempted second-degree murder. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Crowley Police or Acadia Parish Crime Stoppers. The Lafayette Parish School System has begun collecting community input as an independent strategic planner continues its evaluation of the district. Community feedback sessions are scheduled on July 17th at 6 o'clock at both Acadiana High and Northside High, and on July 18th at 6 o'clock at Southside High. LPSS is also asking Lafayette residents to take a brief survey about community priorities. That survey is posted at lpssonline.com. LCG is hosting a public meeting to provide the community with an update on the Brown Park project. The information about construction and milestones follows a public meeting in March when officials gathered information from the community. The meeting is scheduled for July 10th at 6 o'clock at the Dupuy Rec Center. Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that would have given his office the ability to pardon, without pardon board recommendation, certain first-time offenders who are guilty of possessing less than 14 grams of marijuana. Landry's veto letter says the bill is an attempt to have the state accept President Biden's invitation to join his soft-on-crime, no consequences for criminals agenda. New Orleans Representative Delisha Boyd, who sponsored the bill, says the intent was not to prevent people from being arrested, but rather an attempt to give individuals a second chance so they would have a fair opportunity at things like employment and housing that require a criminal background check. A Louisiana businessman says his insurance rates are up over 40%, and he's not sure how long he can take it. Todd Hine, the owner of Hine Environmental Services, a small waste services business in Sulphur, says he's been told auto insurance rates are going up because of the state's legal climate. Hine says his insurance payments went from $300,000 to over $1 million, which he was able to negotiate down. Hine met with Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, who told him insurance relief would come from tort reform legislation. However, that's on hold after Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that attempted to prevent windfall judgments for car crash victims. Landry expressed concern the bill would prevent a car crash victim from getting the judgment they deserved and would hurt the everyday working citizen. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Walling.
From the moments that shape our lives to those that shape our days, broadcasters are there, delivering the most trusted news that keeps you informed when it matters. We are your neighbors, a trusted voice, a lifeline. We are broadcasters. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Want a relaxing way to spend some time? Louisiana's state parks are right in your own backyard. Spend the day hiking, fishing, biking, and picnicking, or stay overnight at one of our affordable cabins, campsites, or group camps. And tour a state historic site for an educational experience the whole family can enjoy. Call 1-877-226-7652 for more information, or visit www.lastateparks.com. Sponsored by the Louisiana Office of State Parks.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Make it even more important by dining at an Eat Lafayette restaurant and using your digital passport to check in to win a 3-night getaway with airfare to Austin, Texas for 2. Sponsored by Lafayette Coca-Cola. EatLafayette.com from Lafayette Travel.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Still working that minor traffic at the 4000 block of Shimon-Metairie Parkway in Youngsville. Again, that's the 4000 block of Shimon-Metairie Parkway. There's a traffic accident with no injuries. So if you're out on the road this morning, take some extra time. Make sure you're being safe. Welcome back. It is 6:41 this morning on KPEL's Acadiana's Morning News with Jamie Angel, Tracy Wirtz.
Hi, I'm riding sidecar today.
Riding shotgun.
So that Jamie can take over the route on Monday. And Jamie, I feel like I'm in the presence of Roy.
Oh,
it's the boots coming to the top grocery guy. His real name is Scott Domingue. Scott, I mean, I know you didn't come in here to talk about that, but oh my gosh.
She is fangirling hard
like,
over here.
big time.
She just learned who he was.
Yeah, I'm not Shaw's stunt double.
Oh, my.
Pick all the mustard
We
lines
got
for him.
Joe Bow and Scott Domingue from Katie Real Estate.
His boots coming to the top
Boots
guy.
coming to the top.
But look, is my boots grocery over there? Oh my gosh, I'm fangirling hard. It is. It's happening. I'm telling you.
I'm about to get Tracy a fan over here.
No, like
Lord.
turn the water hose on her.
Pour the
Quick. It's hot up in here.
Oh, I know.
Bring the shop fan.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna calm down.
Okay. While she's calming down, y'all are here to talk about a special event you're putting on for the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about it.
So I was
Gloves
fortunate
and
enough
gutters.
to be nominated and picked as an honoree this year for Acadiana's Finest, which they pick people throughout the community in different industries, and it's kind of like competition, so you could raise the most money for cystic fibrosis. And we're trying to raise money all the way through to July 18th. However, I'm putting together an extra event on July 13th called Gloves and Gutters. Be a bowling tournament. All the proceeds will go to Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. It'll be at Acadiana Premier Lanes on July 13th on a Saturday. Teams of 4 people, be $250 a team. If you do have a team sponsor or you want to put your logo up, we'll put that up on the lane for you. We'll have a 50-50 raffle. Everybody knows the cheese sticks will slap out there in the bowling alley. Get you a little draft beer and come on down, and we'll have trophies and prizes. Should be a good time, and it's for a good cause.
Yeah, no kidding. Now, the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation does what?
They're going to be putting on a gala at the end of this on July 18th at River Oaks Catering. Of Band 337 will be there. We have sponsorships available for that. Or if you want to buy tickets to attend, it'll be a nice formal dinner. And like I said, 337 will play after, do some awards and things like that.
Okay, so, but the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation itself, What do you know anything about their mission and the work that they do?
Yeah, I mean, every honoree has an ambassador, and the money goes to helping them in need, which my best friend and my daughter's godfather, he actually has cystic fibrosis. He's had a lung transplant. However, he's still having to go to treatments and, tons of checkups. And a lot of times he has to travel to New Orleans or out of town, sometimes out of state, to do, surgeries or checkups and stuff like that. So it is a long process and it's continuously ongoing, which everyone knows that, can add up. So research and helping people, throughout their process.
Right, because it is a disease, and I know this because I in high school went to school with a girl who had cystic fibrosis, and she died. But I think, and I'm glad that that was 5 minutes ago. I'm glad that advancements have come as far as they have. Knowing the lung transplants, because the reality is it's not a curable disease. I mean, it's ultimately a death sentence. I'm so glad for the advancements and the work of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, because I remember when she passed away and the struggles that she had, and that's not something that you want anybody to have to go through.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how much are you hoping to actually raise with this event?
Well, let's see. I think there's...
well, let's start with how much you've raised so far.
So far, I've raised about $4,000.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm in third right now, so... Hopefully, this airtime will help me get over the hump. I actually have another friend of mine. We went to high school together. We're competing against each other. So it's always fun to have positive competition. Now, we do have sponsorships available on Acadiana's Finest website. You can go and sign up under my page if you'd like to make a donation for that. If you can't make it to the bowling event or to the gala on July 18th, you can sponsor there. Like I said, you could just donate, you could sponsor, or you can buy tickets to the event, or you can show up to the bowling alley. And
what's the website?
Acadiana's Finest. The website to sign up for the bowling event will be Gloves and Gutters with a Z, .info, and you can register there. And once you register there, we'll reach out to you and get you situated.
Okay.
And again, this is Saturday, July 13th. What's the location again?
Acadiana Lanes, Premier Lanes.
Okay, and that's from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Correct. Yeah, 10 to 11 we'll do warm-ups, and then 11 to 1 will be the actual tournament, and we'll have some trophies to give out as well. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds like a lot of fun. Well, good luck on being named, like Acadiana's Finest. And everybody go bowl for a good cause.
That's right. Time now, 6:47 on this Thursday morning. We'll be back.
Securing America.
Several weeks after President Biden took executive action to limit illegal migrant crossings at the southern border, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says the measures are having a positive effect.
Across the entire southern border, Border Patrol encounters have dropped by over 40%.
Mayorkas was in Tucson, Arizona Wednesday.
We are imposing stricter consequences for those who cross the border without authorization.
However, the recent killings of a Maryland mother of 5 and a 12-year-old girl from Houston, in which illegal migrants are the suspects, the arrests of 8 Tajikistani nationals with ties to ISIS, and a new report that DHS has identified over 400 people brought to the U.S. by an ISIS-affiliated smuggling network all raise concerns. Mayorkas says,
if an individual is of concern from a national security or a public safety perspective, they are a priority for detention.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
The loudest voices on the biggest issues.
We're listening to your concerns, and that's why it's so important for us to say that we hear you.
News Talk 96.5, KPEL, depend on it.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5, KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Still working a minor accident at Shimon Metairie, the 4,000 block of Shimon Metairie Parkway in Youngsville. And now we have a minor accident at 118 Industrial Parkway at Pinhook, near Pinhook in Lafayette. That's the 100 block of Industrial Parkway near its intersection with Pinhook. Stay safe on the roads this morning.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world.
You can't put that bumper in, not
Yeah, I
expect me to
can.
sing along, Trace.
Well, you can sing along. I sing along all the time.
It is
And
creeping
they
up
can-
on 6:52
Yeah,
this
and they
morning.
can thank God that I'll leave the mic off when I do.
Yeah, you don't want to hear me singing this early.
No, you don't want to hear me singing it. You don't even want to hear me sing in the shower. Tonight, of course, the presidential debate begins at 8 o'clock Central Time. And we found out yesterday it will run across all the networks. It's being hosted by CNN, and it will be in Atlanta. And there are some, you'll cover real quickly the rules, but I found an interesting article in NBC News. And look, I don't know what way these people lean, but these are some interesting questions.
NBC News?
Well, I know, but this chick's name is Kristen Welker.
Oh, yeah, she's...
She and the reason I'm reading it is because she was the moderator of the last debate in 2020. And she says that she's going to be watching for 5 things. And they're 5 interesting things, doesn't matter which side you go on. Which Trump will show up. That's what she says. Will he be a little bit more down, not understated, but not as bombastic as maybe he usually is.
Reserved.
Right. Is a good word. Is Biden able to reverse perceptions about his strengths? How does Trump respond when his recent conviction becomes a topic of debate? And I think the question is, will it? I don't see how they can avoid it. How does Biden handle the inflation questions? What is he going to say? And how does Trump handle the abortion questions? I think that's an easily answered question, in terms of Trump and the abortion question. It's going to be interesting to see, for me, one of the things I definitely agree with is how Biden will handle the inflation questions. Because I think largely Americans, I know at least people I know, are sick and tired of hearing, inflation slowed to 2.1% or whatever, but prices are still high.
Well, I wish they'd stop this narrative that it's significantly reduced from what it was. It's not. Milk's still almost $6 a gallon.
And
it used
that's
to be
the
free
thing.
Something.
Right. And if you look at it just from what is the percentage of inflation, yes, that may be down. But to your point, those prices haven't come down.
Yeah.
So
they just haven't
increase,
gone up as much.
Exactly.
Yeah. Again, Biden, his team lately has been touting how, their economic successes.
Yeah. No.
Where?
Yeah, agreed. Because the fact of the matter is when people who aren't sitting in the White House or in a cushy government job up in Washington, D.C., have to go to the grocery store themselves and they have to not do things in order to just feed their families or make drastic changes to what they feed their families, that there's a problem. Yeah. There is a problem. And the thing is, it's not like a lot of these families are stepping down from filet mignon every week.
I mean,
it's that, do we have rice and gravy ground beef, or do we have to step down to hot dogs and mac and cheese?
Tuna.
Exactly. And
Robin.
So and there's obviously the perception and probably reality that there's a disconnect between what the average American is going through and how in touch government is with that. Well, those upper levels of government. Yeah. Let's just call it what it is, the president.
Yeah. Well, if you're planning on watching tonight, it's supposed to be a 90-minute debate with 2 potty breaks.
Yeah.
Because that's why they're putting those commercial breaks in there.
Right.
So Papa Biden can sit and take a little rest.
Yeah.
The campaign staff may not interact with their candidate during that time. They both agreed to appear at a uniform podium. That just means they're going to be the same style of podium,
Right.
same height. I think Biden won the coin flip.
I have no idea. I didn't read that deep.
This part, microphones will be muted throughout the debate. I think they've tried that before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Donald Trump doesn't need a microphone.
No. And they're going to try to keep them to time.
Well.
Bam! And Trump's going to be like, I got something to say.
And no audience this time.
Mm-mm.
No Clinton.
No hecklers no hecklers.
Clinton mistresses or anything like that. And no Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, right.
They say he did not meet the 15% requirement. He was close, though.
Yeah, very close. And he's still fighting to be on one of those stages.
Well, we'll see. Maybe he'll make it to September.
KPEL News Time is 6:56. We do have a look at your business news, your local news, and your national news on the way.
The Fox Business Report is brought to you by Gulf Coast Bank, your local community bank. Whether your financial needs are for an individual, a business, or for the whole family, Gulf Coast Bank has the knowledge and products to serve you best. With 9 convenient locations throughout Acadiana, you're never far from a friendly Gulf Coast Bank associate.
I'm Liz Clayman, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Micron Technology shares are down more than 5%. The chipmaker's earnings topped estimates, but Wall Street was hoping Micron would boost its forecast. Amazon is only the 5th U.S. company to reach a $2 trillion market value. Its shares rose to a record yesterday after upbeat comments about the company from analysts at Bank of America. This morning, Amazon shares are flat. Discount fashion retailer H&M is warning its performance will be impacted by higher costs for raw materials and currency fluctuations. H&M is expecting sales in June will decline 6%. It says unstable weather is keeping some people from shopping. Sales increased 8% at Levi Strauss & Company in the recent quarter, but Wall Street was hoping for even better numbers. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Posola. Invested in you.
Success, it's discipline, it's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us that comes before all recognition. It's the best of each of us made better by the best in all of us. It's what Stifel's been doing for over 130 years. And it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management and investment banking firms in the industry. Stifel, it's where success meets success. Start your journey at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studio. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
The election is still more than 4 months away. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News, but the first Trump-Biden showdown is tonight, the CNN presidential debate.
We hope that these moderators, who both have a long history of anti-Trump statements, will put those aside to, again, focus on the issues that matter to the millions of people who will be tuning in tonight.
Trump campaign spokesperson Caroline Leavitt also just told Fox.
We hope they will ask Joe Biden why he lied to CNN's face on the debate stage in 2020 about the existence of the Hunter Biden laptop. And we hope that they will focus on inflation and immigration.
President Biden's been prepping and practicing at Camp David. Fox's Jackie Heinrich reports from the White House. Democrats
put up billboards around Atlanta welcoming former President Trump as a convicted felon, finding ways to get under Trump's skin, a key goal for Team Biden staffers, according to an NBC report.
In 2 hours, we'll get more Supreme Court rulings with cases left to decide as justices end this term. Among them, the Trump claim he should be immune from prosecution and one that got leaked.
That document, quickly removed, but not before being viewed by Bloomberg News, shows the justices appearing to side with the Biden administration in a challenge to Idaho's restrictive abortion law. The case centers on whether federal law supersedes the state on performing abortions in emergency situations to protect the patient's health.
Fox's Jared Halpern. An attempted military coup fails in South America. A Bolivian general now under arrest.
Supporters of President Luis Arce gathered in the capital, La Paz. They wanted to topple our president, says one, but the Bolivian people didn't allow it. The rebellion is over, but Bolivia's political and economic problems remain unsolved.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Houthi militants have attacked yet another ship in the Red Sea from Yemen. A U.S. coalition warship is on the way, responding to a distress call. It's believed to be the third ship targeted by the Iran-backed militants in that region this week. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than what we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with a proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. I trust Birch Gold. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantaged status. So text PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message. Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the Cape Hill News app. Now the headlines from the Cape Hill News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Thursday, June 27th. Former Youngsville Police Chief Ricky Boudreau has announced that he will run for the seat he previously held. Boudreau officially retired last August, citing serious health issues as his reason for stepping away. At the time, Boudreau was also the target of an investigation over possible malfeasance. Interim Police Chief Cody Louvier is hoping to hold the position permanently and will also be on the ballot for chief. A third person, J.P. Broussard, announced his run earlier this week. Lafayette police have identified the victim in Tuesday night's shooting on Robley Drive as 18-year-old Torrin Martin. They say the three suspects who were arrested after a police chase were booked on charges unrelated to that homicide. Detectives are still actively investigating the shooting. Crowley police are looking for a fugitive. 33-year-old Verice Charles Ozone of Rain is wanted on charges of home invasion and attempted second-degree murder. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Crowley Police or Acadia Parish Crime Stoppers. The Lafayette Parish School System has begun collecting community input as an independent strategic planner continues its evaluation of the district. Community feedback sessions are scheduled on July 17th at 6 o'clock at both Acadiana High and Northside High, and on July 18th at 6 o'clock at Southside High. LPSS is also asking Lafayette residents to take a brief survey about community priorities. That survey is posted at lpssonline.com. LCG is hosting a public meeting to provide the community with an update on the Brown Park project. The information about construction and milestones follows a public meeting in March when officials gathered information from the community. The meeting is scheduled for July 10th at 6 o'clock at the Dupuy Rec Center. Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that would have given his office the ability to pardon, without pardon board recommendation, certain first-time offenders who are guilty of possessing less than 14 grams of marijuana. Landry's veto letter says the bill is an attempt to have the state accept President Biden's invitation to join his soft-on-crime, no consequences for criminals agenda. New Orleans Representative Delisha Boyd, who sponsored the bill, says the intent was not to prevent people from being arrested, but rather an attempt to give individuals a second chance so they would have a fair opportunity at things like employment and housing that require a criminal background check. A Louisiana businessman says his insurance rates are up over 40%, and he's not sure how long he can take it. Todd Hine, the owner of Hine Environmental Services, a small waste services business in Sulphur, says he's been told auto insurance rates are going up because of the state's legal climate. Hine says his insurance payments went from $300,000 to over $1 million, which he was able to negotiate down. Hine met with Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, who told him insurance relief would come from tort reform legislation. However, that's on hold after Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that attempted to prevent windfall judgments for car crash victims. Landry expressed concern the bill would prevent a car crash victim from getting the judgment they deserved and would hurt the everyday working citizen. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirt.
Did you know that 1 in 14 children experience homelessness at some point in time in their life? The Gifting Grace Project, Acadiana's homeless children's outreach, seeks to help them. Go to giftinggraceproject.com to partner with us or text GGP to 53555 and donate today.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Taking a look at traffic this morning, there's still a minor accident around the 100 block of Industrial Parkway near its intersection with Pinhook. That's the 100 block of Industrial Parkway near its intersection with Pinhook. And they're still working a traffic accident. Minor accident, no injuries. 4000 block of Shimon-Metairie Parkway at Youngsville. The 4000 block of Shimon-Metairie Parkway in Youngsville. If you're headed out this morning, stay safe on the road.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome back. Thursday morning, KPEL News Time, 7:11. Jamie Angel here with Tracy Wertz.
Good morning. Jamie's driving the bus. 'Cause he's taking over the route next week.
Terrible drive.
No, you're doing fine. You're actually doing really well. I'm very proud of you. I might just leave you by yourself tomorrow.
Oh no. I'm not ready for all that. We picked up a couple passengers on this bus.
We
have
did.
Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this Thursday?
I'm doing well.
You stop drinking coffee. I'm kind of yeah. Girl, you are brave.
Are you drinking tea? Anything?
I will drink tea in the afternoon.
You want a Red Bull?
No. No. I don't think that's the answer. And I'm still adjusting. So, I'm faking being awake.
No, right?
Make it till you make it.
I do that every day. It's like I have coffee or not. You guys we met the interim police chief a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And because the search has begun, Judith Astorich decided to step down from her position. She's still with the department. We need to let folks know that. This has to be a daunting task.
So it is. Going through a search like this is a big decision. First of all, it's a very important decision. Mm-hmm. And so I do think it's one of the most important hires we will make, right? Mm-hmm. I do want it to be a long-term decision. And so we have reached out to, and I'm trying to think of the name of it. It's called PERF, but it's a law enforcement national association that supports a lot of research in law enforcement, but also these kinds of processes. Mm-hmm. So they are helping to walk us through the best practice.
Right.
Best practice is far hiring a police chief. Where we are right now is we've made the announcement, we've opened the position, and over the next few months, it will be in the civil service process.
Okay.
You have to test with civil service. You have to meet all of their, processes and qualifications, and then it will come to us in the fall.
Okay.
We will get the list of candidates that qualify to be interviewed, and then my office, well, it will be my decision actually, but we'll put a committee together, including some of the council as well as citizens, to go through the interview process to see the candidates. And I do expect we get a lot of good candidates.
Now, I want to be police chief. What are some of the qualifications that obviously experience, but is there are you like, okay, I really would prefer them to have this much experience. I want them to have, what do you think are the top things?
What I'm looking for, once they get through the minimum qualifications, and I think they have to have at least 10 years of law enforcement experience to get into the civil service process.
Got it.
There are certain tick marks they have to make to get into the civil service process. But once it reaches me, I really am looking at somebody who who can manage process, who can look at policies, who can look at how the department is working as a whole, who can leverage. We have a lot of great people in that department who can leverage them so that we have even better results, as well as somebody who can go in the community and build credibility, can take the tough questions, can go into the tough situations, look at trends, look at crime trends. That's really one area that we're already starting to look at. I have to say my interim is doing a really good job of really trying to create that baseline foundation.
Right.
What are the trends in different parts of town? Crime is different in different parts of town.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of property crime on the south side, much less than you would expect on the north side. We have more violent crime in some areas. And so really looking at the trends and then really equipping those police officers that work in those precincts with what they need, and so just looking at it from a comprehensive perspective. And part of it is personality.
Right.
The police chief is an elected position in a lot of areas.
Yep.
And in Lafayette, it's not. It's appointed, but you need somebody who can really go out and field questions and build trust.
Right.
And that, I think we'll get some good candidates.
Well, and crime has been such a hot button issue across the state, or at least a top of mind, because when you talk to people statewide, it's crime and insurance. Those are the things that are so bad, and we have just seen that uptick in crime. And when you talk about the interim police chief, what is his role? Is he able to make any changes that need to be changed now? Is it just keeping the ship on course? What is his role?
So Paul Truord is our interim police chief, and he's been with the department for 27 years. I've given him leeway to get in there and start moving things around. So he is very busy now. I don't think we wait. I think there are some, and he's really looking also with us at best practices.
Right.
Nationwide, and how do you take that down into the department? And he comes in with a lot of respect within the department, and I've asked him to get going.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And that's going to help his. That's going to help whether it's him or anybody else.
Right.
That's going to help in that process.
Now, there's been talk in the past about the pay for that position. Do you have any plans? I know attempts were made before to raise the pay. Because it is a little lower compared to some similar-sized cities. Are there plans to try to bring that pay back up with this council, or?
So not at this point. I think if we hit that wall, absolutely. But not at this point.
Are you confident that, as it is now, that you'll get a successful pool of candidates?
We've already had several very qualified people express interest. So, we'll see when it opens up, Jamie. But so far I feel confident that we're gonna have a solid pool of qualified candidates to choose from.
Now let's just real quick go back to the timeline and walk people through that. Right now, your PERF is working on the things they need to do.
Right.
When do you expect you guys to get that and then to ultimately make a decision? Any ideas, even if it's a squishy timeline, but
the fall.
Okay.
The summer, we're already in
the
end of June.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Basically.
I mean, technically, summer just started last week. One of these weeks.
I'm going to call something on that. Yeah, right? Ugh, we've been in
Right.
summer since April, I think.
But so we will go through active candidate recruitment through the summer, and the
Okay.
civil service test will be administered through the summer. We will receive qualified candidates this fall and begin the review process. And we are targeting certainly by January 1st to be rolling with this.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Talking about Lafayette's new police chief with Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay. Next, we will talk about Brown Park. You might have heard in the news that they have another meeting coming up. We'll talk about what's going to be on that agenda and what LCG is asking from the community. KPEL News Time is 7:19.
Fox on Tech. The cyborgs have arrived, not necessarily from the future, and we don't know if they're targeting future resistance leaders. Tokyo University says their scientists are successfully attaching real human skin to the face of robots. This is accomplished by copying human skin tissue and then tying it down to the artificial material that makes up the underlying face bones, if you will, of the robot's visage. Those tie-downs are made of elastin and collagen. They're essentially ligaments. The end result isn't something resembling a young and brawny Arnold Schwarzenegger, but the skin more easily moved with the robot's movement, unlike a synthetic covering. And if it did tear, it healed itself. The researchers say they'll spend years learning about the applications for these techniques, but it could be useful to learn things about aging or plastic and reconstructive surgery. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
Apply. Hi, I'm Dale Brown, best-selling techno-thriller author. I'm also a mission pilot and squadron commander in the Civil Air Patrol. The members of the Civil Air Patrol are volunteer professionals who serve their communities and their nation every day with emergency services, aerospace education, and cadet programs. We train hard, we fly hard, and we get the job done for America. Join the Civil Air Patrol. Visit www.gocivilairpatrol.com and let's go flying.
Breaking news, traffic troubles as they happen, and your Acadiana forecast just one tap away on the free KPEL News app. Download it today in the App Store and Google Play.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
If you're heading out on the road this morning, still working, Lafayette Police still working an accident in the 100 block of Industrial Parkway near its intersection with Pinhook. It's the 100 block of Industrial Parkway near its intersection with Pinhook, a minor accident reported. If you're heading out, stay safe on the road this morning. Welcome back, Lafayette Live. Jamie Angel here with Tracy Wirtz and Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay and Jamie
Boudreau riding shotgun and being very quiet.
You don't have much to say over there.
That's right.
I like a little behind.
That's a good girl. Good girl. Okay, so let's talk about Brown Park, because in the news this morning, I did let folks know that another public meeting's coming up, because you had one in March.
Right.
Because when you came in, you kind of wanted to reevaluate that project, right?
Well, so what was in place was phase one. And phase one was 4 baseball fields.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a phase two. And the first phase is a $17 million phase. And then there was a phase two, which was, I don't remember exactly, but another $17 million, which that money is not identified. And so I wanted, when we finished phase one, for the park to feel complete.
Right.
Because when are we going to get, so we've over the last
Because
couple
you
of
said
years.
it's a well-used park, right?
It is. Well, over the last couple of years, and Jamie knows, we've had a huge injection of federal dollars that we don't have anymore.
Right.
So we don't have an extra $15 million.
Right.
What are we going to do type money? And so when we finished phase one, I wanted the park to feel complete. It is was one of the most utilized parks in the city. The contractor said when they showed up to start demolition the night before, it was packed. And so I wanted the walking trails back. I wanted the dog park back. And now we're going to have, I wanted it to have that community access and usage again, along with the 4 baseball fields. That are going to be world-class Little League baseball fields. Let me just say that. Turfed fields, the whole thing. It's going to be really beautiful. And there was a lot of anxiety about Brown Park when I came in, then when we stepped into the project. So we went out and had a public meeting and gathered input. The residents came, stakeholders came, and we talked about, what do you want this park to be? What is it that you want? And can we add some of those amenities as we're finishing construction, working with the contractors? Which, big shout out to JB Mouton. They're doing a tremendous job on this. It's on track, on time. By September, October, should be complete. The grass planted, ready for spring ball, which is really the goal.
Yeah.
And so some of the things we heard is they wanted a T-ball field back. So the T-ball field's going to go back. We're going to add benches with trash receptacles. That helps litter.
Oh, yeah.
Keep the park clean. Not only are we going to have a dog park, but it's going to be split into small dog and large dog.
Oh, that's neat.
So yeah,
love it.
And we're going to add,
because let me tell you what, those small dogs, they can be mean.
That's right.
Yeah, and the big dogs tend to choke on them.
Yeah. No.
Ouch.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah.
That's how a Chihuahua kills a pit bull. Gets stuck in his throat.
Jamie!
Yapping the whole time. That's too funny. So, and then some pavilions, park pavilions, so that people can go out there and have gatherings and, have some shade. We're going to have the pickleball courts, the basketball court, the tennis courts, the baseball fields, the indoor. It will be a really fine facility. And, it's also located next to, the
Buc-ee's.
The Buc-ee's coming.
Okay, we have to. You open that door.
I did.
Can they add some trees to that park? That was the one thing about that park. So beautiful.
Yeah.
It would just, some nice oak trees. Make some shade out there.
It takes a long time for those oak trees to grow, Jamie.
Or some maples. How about some maples?
Maybe so. Some of the conversation was barrier trees, I guess, and there were some for and some against. And I'm not sure. I think that's one of the items. We still are waiting for the final numbers of the project to fall out to see exactly what we can fit in. We are trying to stay within the original budget, and so that is part of the conversation is some trees. And then I think there's also the potential for a pond, a drainage pond. There was a grant. That's a separate pot of funding, and it's through the state, and it moves a little bit slower. Let me just say that.
No, right.
So we're not really, expecting that pond right on the front end.
Right.
But there could be a pond. Let me just say that.
Okay, we have to take a break for news. But I want to talk about Buc-ee's because everybody else is. Can we do that after the break?
We can.
All right. KFL News Time, 7:29.
This is House Call for Health. A girl in Illinois gets more than 100 board games for her birthday. 10-year-old Maya Schaub raised more than $1,000 on GoFundMe and used the money to buy 130 board games. The games, though, aren't for Maya. She donated them to Advocate Children's Hospital.
I know going to the hospital can be scary, especially for kids. I want kindness to be contagious and everybody to appreciate each other and respect each other. Candyland, Micro, Series, Simon. We got a lot of games.
Certified child life specialist at the hospital, Hospital, Katie Steinberg, telling Fox TV affiliate WFLD, quote, "It blew me away when she told me how much she raised and how many board games she got and the care that she puts into all of her donations. You can tell that she is such a caring person." Maya's past service projects include Birthday in a Box for people who couldn't risk getting sick during the pandemic and a free food pantry outside a public library. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health, I'm Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the Cape Hill News app. Now the headlines from the Cape Hill News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Thursday, June 27th. Former Youngsville Police Chief Ricky Boudreau has announced that he will run for the seat he previously held. Boudreau officially retired last August, citing serious health issues as his reason for stepping away. At the time, Boudreau was also the target of an investigation over possible malfeasance. Interim Police Chief Cody Louvier is hoping to hold the position permanently and will also be on the ballot for chief. A third person, J.P. Broussard, announced his run earlier this week. Lafayette police have identified the victim in Tuesday night's shooting on Robley Drive as 18-year-old Torrin Martin. They say the three suspects who were arrested after a police chase were booked on charges unrelated to that homicide. Detectives are still actively investigating the shooting. Crowley police are looking for a fugitive. 33-year-old Verice Charles Ozone of Rain is wanted on charges of home invasion and attempted second-degree murder. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Crowley Police or Acadia Parish Crime Stoppers. The Lafayette Parish School System has begun collecting community input as an independent strategic planner continues its evaluation of the district. Community feedback sessions are scheduled on July 17th at 6 o'clock at both Acadiana High and Northside High, and on July 18th at 6 o'clock at Southside High. LPSS is also asking Lafayette residents to take a brief survey about community priorities. That survey is posted at lpssonline.com. LCG is hosting a public meeting to provide the community with an update on the Brown Park project. The information about construction and milestones follows a public meeting in March when officials gathered information from the community. The meeting is scheduled for July 10th at 6 o'clock at the Dupuy Rec Center. Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that would have given his office the ability to pardon, without pardon board recommendation, certain first-time offenders who are guilty of possessing less than 14 grams of marijuana. Landry's veto letter says the bill is an attempt to have the state accept President Biden's invitation to join his soft on crime, no consequences for criminals agenda. New Orleans Representative Delisha Boyd, who sponsored the bill, says the intent was not to prevent people from being arrested, but rather an attempt to give individuals a second chance so they would have a fair opportunity at things like employment and housing that require a criminal background check. A Louisiana businessman says his insurance rates are up over 40%, and he's not sure how long he can take it. Todd Hine, the owner of Hine Environmental Services, a small waste services business in Sulphur, says he's been told auto insurance rates are going up because of the state's legal climate. Hine says his insurance payments went from $300,000 to over $1 million, which he was able to negotiate down. Hine met with Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, who told him insurance relief would come from tort reform legislation. However, that's on hold after Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that attempted to prevent windfall judgments for car crash victims. Landry expressed concern the bill would prevent a car crash victim from getting the judgment they deserved and would hurt the everyday working citizen. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Make it even more important by dining at an Eat Lafayette restaurant and using your digital passport to check in to win a 3-night getaway with airfare to Austin, Texas for 2. Sponsored by Lafayette Coca-Cola. EatLafayette.com from Lafayette Track.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Taking a look at your traffic conditions out there. Still working that accident at Industrial Parkway at Pinhook. There's a traffic accident there, a minor accident. 118 Industrial Parkway at Pinhook. Also, new one, a minor accident, 3600 block of Ambassador Caffrey Parkway. That's near David's Bridal, near the mall. So if you're headed out in that direction, allow yourself some extra time. Stay safe on the roads this morning. We'll be back with Lafayette Live right after this.
A Monday warrior, mean stride. Today's Tom Sawyer, mean pride.
Welcome back. It is 7:40 on this Thursday morning. Lafayette Live. Jamie Angel here with Tracy Wirtz.
Good
Tracy,
morning.
A little bit of pain over there. We got Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay. Jamie Boudreaux.
Yeah, Jamie's behind this. The other Jamie's behind the scenes. And you open the door to a discussion about Bucky, so we kind of need to have that because it is the buzz. And it's been the buzz for a lot of years because, it's all, is Bucky's coming to Lafayette? And what we have to give this disclaimer that it's not a sure thing.
It's not final. It's not. There's still some steps to go through. But I will say the LIDA team has done a tremendous job, like they do with all companies that look at coming into Lafayette Parish, at really working with them and very excited about the potential.
Yeah.
I think everybody in town is buzzing. You're exactly right.
Absolutely.
It's such an interesting business. Let's just say that.
Anytime anybody in the building does a web article about Buc-ee's, and it is one of the top performing articles, whether it's about here,
Interesting.
if it says Buc-ee's in the title, people are going to click on it.
Isn't it fascinating how we have become so enamored and so just in love with a gas station?
Yeah.
It's a Buc-ee's.
But Jamie, it's not just a gas station.
It's not. It's
really
an
a
experience,
tourist destination is the fascinating part about it. So we were in Houston a couple of weeks ago at Kathleen's, and on the way home, I said, let's stop in Beaumont. I said, let me just see it.
Yeah?
Have you
never been?
It's all, I had been years ago. It's a bit overwhelming. Except
No,
for
it
was
is.
so cool going in. Well, so we pull up. And there's a guy out there cleaning the garbage can. And I was like, look at that.
He's
and
cleaning the garbage can. Listen to that.
And he was smiling. And then I look over and there's the wages. They post the wages
he's
on a
making
sign in
$100,000 a
front. And I
year.
was like, oh, now I know why he's smiling.
Because
the benefits and the wages are fabulous.
Right.
Tremendous.
I would spend all my money if I worked there. Because I think last time I went, I left with like a cast iron pot.
Oh, yeah.
Some pickled garlic.
You
like
go
the
in to
most
buy a
random
soft
things
drink
you
and it
can
becomes
imagine.
like the $800 soft drink.
Yes. But there's a ton of people there, and you've seen in the news articles, they'll be looking to work with local vendors, creative type. They usually will stock items, small artwork or different things. But it's when you hear, but you have to keep up with the volume.
Yes. So if you're a local
takes
vendor
it
and you
to
can
another
only
level.
Yeah, right.
What you produce, you have to be able to produce a lot of, which is so exciting also, for our local vendors.
Oh, yeah.
What an opportunity. I think it offers this community a chance at something different, but it is more than a gas station. It just happens to have a lot of gas pumps.
Yeah, and it started, I didn't know this, but I was on a website. I knew that the founder's name is, he's from Texas. His name is Arch Applin, and his nickname is Beaver.
Yes.
Which is where the beaver came from. And Bucky is after his Labrador Retriever, who was named Buck. I was kind of wondering about that. It holds the record for world's largest convenience store. Bucky's never closes, open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I guess including Christmas and every other holiday. The first Bucky's location outside of Texas was not opened until 2019. Now, the first one opened in 1982, so that's pretty impressive.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Texas's claim to fame for a lot of years. It holds the record for the world's longest car wash. There is a 225-foot long car wash at the Bucky's location in Katy, Texas. It was recognized by the Guinness World Records in 2017. It takes about 5 minutes to go through the car wash. That's crazy.
Hey, you get your money's worth.
We talked about gas pumps, Monique. Each Bucky's location averages around 100 gas pumps. Wow. Oh, my God. Most convenience stores don't have 100 people there at the same time. The barbecue made in-house daily, and you can smell it when you walk in. And when they reach certain benchmarks, like if it's fresh up, they ring a bell or they holler or something. The drink fountain offers both Coca-Cola and Pepsi products. And Jamie, this is just for you. Jamie Boudreaux, Bucky's most popular snack food is?
The beaver nugget.
Yes, that's right.
Never had them.
It was... This is interesting. Bucky's was originally known for clean bathrooms and cheap ice.
They look like corn puffs, and I'm not a corn puffs. What do they taste like?
They do look like corn puffs.
Did they taste like them?
Right.
Crack.
Look, their popcorn is good. I always grab the popcorn when I'm sitting next to the beaver nuggets. The popcorn. It's
really.
I want to know, but this is what I want to know: are they going to find their own form of boudin or crackling? Like, how much are they going to localize their?
That's a fine line right there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I mean, if you want the true Louisiana gas station experience,
right.
You have to go to one
That's
who has
a challenge.
the boudin. And if they keep it in the Hitachi, it's it takes it to a whole nother level. You know what I'm talking about, huh? Yeah, Gulf Gate in Kaplan always. Yes, exactly.
I'm not going to touch that. We'll see.
Yeah,
I think they're smart, which they seem to be.
They would partner
stick
with
what
somebody,
they're good at,
or they'd partner with somebody. To your point. I mean, that would be interesting.
I think they're excited about Louisiana. I think they're excited about, we're going to bring a little bit different spice, the way we do it to everything.
And look, a Ruston store would be so much different than a Lafayette store because we in Louisiana know those two cultures are different. We love our Louisiana friends and neighbors, but Ruston ain't Lafayette.
It's just the logical spot. I mean, you got two major interstates.
Yep. Yeah.
One going north to south across the entire state, all the way to Canada at some point, hopefully. And then one from coast to coast. A perfect location.
It is. It really is.
And you have the population in Lafayette, but you also have the amenities around it. If you wanted to stop, you didn't just have to stop there. Of course, you look at the one in Alabama, and that's all there is right there. And that's okay. Look, we're going to go to the beach, and we're going to do this, and we're stopping at Bucky's. I mean, it's on the list, right?
It is a tourist destination.
It is.
It'll be interesting. It's fun.
I'll have to restrain myself from going ever. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm a huge Bucky's fan. I'm a big Bucky's fan.
I'm going to drive by it every morning, every afternoon.
You're in trouble, Jamie.
We're going to see field trips from the school system.
Are they 24 hours?
We're going to teach you economics.
Look, if you look at my Life 360 every morning at 4:30, you're going to see Bucky's on my map.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. Thank you for sharing that. That was fun, and we are excited, and we know that you guys and Lita are going to keep us updated on what happens, and I'll be watching closely. Closely. Thanks, Monique. Have a good day, Jamie. Good to see you. KPEL News Time is 7:47.
Securing America.
Several weeks after President Biden took executive action to limit illegal migrant crossings at the southern border, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says the measures are having a positive effect.
Across the entire southern border, Border Patrol encounters have dropped by over 40%.
Mayorkas was in Tucson, Arizona Wednesday.
We are imposing stricter consequences for those who cross the border without authorization.
However, the recent killings of a Maryland mother of 5 and a 12-year-old girl from Houston, in which illegal migrants are the suspects, the arrests of 8 Tajikistani nationals with ties to ISIS, and a new report that DHS has identified over 400 people brought to the U.S. by an ISIS-affiliated smuggling network all raise concerns. Mayorkas says,
If an individual is of concern from a national security or a public safety perspective, they are a priority for detention.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Phone lines are open. Call the show at 232-1542. 232-1542. Then listen live anytime with the free KPEL News app. Free in the App Store or Google Play.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5. KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Take a look at your traffic conditions out there. Still working that minor accident at the 3600 block of Ambassador Caffrey Parkway. That's near the Mall of Acadiana in front of David's Bridal. That's 3600 Ambassador Caffrey Parkway, a minor accident. Also, still working that minor accident in the 100 block of Industrial Parkway near its intersection with Pinhook. So if you're headed out that way this morning, allow yourself some extra time and stay safe out there on the roads. It is 7:53 on this Thursday morning. Jamie Angel here. Tracy Wirtz.
Hi.
Let me drive the bus this morning.
Yeah, look, you're going to be driving it, you're going to be like everything on Monday.
Running a bunch of stuff over.
Yeah. Just no fatalities, Jamie.
Y'all bear with me.
That's right. We were talking about Buc-ee's with Lafayette Mayor President Monique Blanco-Boulay. And, a lot of times it's a love it or hate it. There are people who go and don't get it, and they don't ever want to go back. And then there's people like me who literally have the T-shirt.
Same.
Like it's just going to happen. And there's a lot of excitement around it. I'm a little disappointed that Lafayette didn't get the first one. Ruston will, but I'm glad that it is coming to Louisiana right now. They have stores in Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, South Carolina, Tennessee, Missouri, Colorado, and of course, several locations across Texas, which is where that particular store was born. And, Monique touched on something that is absolutely one of the things that catches my eye as I'm walking into a Buc-ee's, because they have those stand-up boards where they post salary information. And a Buc-ee's manager makes 6 figures. The food manager makes 6 figures. I think she said the janitors make $20 an hour. I mean, that's
401k 6% match.
Well, no kidding. I mean, and the thing is that is good for an economy because the people can find jobs. They can find jobs that will pay well and help them to support their families. Mm-hmm. And then you talk about tax base. I mean, think about when you walk in. I'm not even kidding you. I mean, I'm not $800, but there have been times when I've stopped and I walked in. I said, "Oh, I'm going to get a brisket sandwich, or I'm going to get one of their wonderful breakfast sandwiches, whatever, and a drink."
Oh, I'm not lying when I said I walked out of there with cast iron one day.
Oh no, yeah, we've walked out with bathing suits. We've without, and that wasn't the plan going in.
Anything pickled.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They pay every one of their employees weekly.
Really?
Yeah.
And, that's not to take away from anything local, but it's going to be a tourist destination. And what do they say? The rising tide lifts all ships. If it brings more people into Lafayette, then that's good for everybody. And then again, I'll come back to tax base because I'm walking in for something to eat and a drink, and I'm walking out $120 lighter. And that's not an exaggeration, because of the things that you buy. And look, people traveling,
there's two things.
It's like Monopoly money when you're traveling, right? You're like, sweat the card.
Not
I'll deal with it later.
IKEA, Can you imagine if they put an IKEA right there at I-49 and I mean, there would be some traffic.
Yeah.
Because I remember every place I've lived where there's an IKEA nearby,
Really?
we'd always make that.
I have never been to an IKEA.
Oh, you got to go. There's one in Houston.
Okay.
You got to go.
I'm going to go to Houston to go to Buc-ee's and IKEA.
You go get you some little Swedish meatballs and you have a day of it.
Oh man, but yeah, and as the mayor president said, it is not a definite. There are steps that they need to go through. They have sent in their kind of advanced planners, their advanced team. They're working with LEDA because there are a lot of things that need to happen. I mean, can you imagine with the current roads, if Buc-ee's open there, like you wouldn't be able to move. So there are things that have to happen infrastructure-wise, and there are discussions that need to take place. But we're going to keep our fingers crossed and say some prayers and keep lots of good thoughts that Buc-ee's decides to locate right here in Lafayette, Louisiana.
I'm sure they will. They'd be silly not to.
I agree, Jamie. I agree. So if anybody from Buc-ee's is listening, y'all come on.
Come on, man. What y'all waiting for?
KFL News time is 7:57. We've got a look at news, local and national, on the way.
This Fox Business Report is brought to you by Walter Campbell and Deborah Pierce of Keller Williams Realty. For all of your commercial property needs, reach out to Walter and Deborah today.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Walgreens plans to close a significant number of its 8,600 stores in coming years and cut its stake in primary care provider VillageMD. It plans to reassign staff so there won't be significant job losses. Chief Executive Tim Wentworth tells the Wall Street Journal the company has not settled on a final number of locations to close, but it's reviewing about a quarter of unprofitable stores. Walgreens made a stronger profit in its recent quarter, though it is lowering expectations for this year. Amazon stands with a market value of more than $2 trillion this morning. It's only the fifth company to reach that level. Chipmaker Micron Technology reported an upbeat quarter, but Wall Street was hoping for a more optimistic forecast, and the stock is losing ground. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Success. It's discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us that comes before all recognition. It's the best of each of us made better by the best in all of us. It's what Stifel's been doing for over 130 years. And it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management and investment banking firms in the industry. Stifel. It's where success meets success. Start your journey at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studio. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
We're 12 hours away. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News from the CNN presidential debate. Democrats put up billboards welcoming former President Trump to Atlanta for the first time as a convicted felon. But his spokesperson, Caroline Levitt, tells Fox.
President Trump absolutely is the front runner in this race. He has the money. He outraised the Democrats in the months of April and May. He has the momentum. If you look at every poll, he's winning in all the battleground states.
The economy could be a big topic tonight. We just got an update showing first quarter GDP growth didn't quite slow as much as first thought, revised up slightly to 1.4%. Now, President Biden at Camp David for days has been doing debate prep. Fox's Bill Malugin details the rules tonight from Atlanta.
Candidates cannot interact with staff during the debate. Biden is going to be on the right. Trump will make the closing statements. Mics will be muted outside of designated speaking time. There will be no props, no pre-written notes. They're only going to get water and pen and paper pad provided.
Fox News will have special coverage simulcasting the CNN presidential debate at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can hear it at foxnewsradio.com. In an hour, we'll get more rulings from the Supreme Court winding this term down. One might be a potential decision that leaked online yesterday in a challenge to an Idaho abortion law.
It appears to show that the court will not actually rule on the merits of the case, but send it back to a lower court for now. Now, if that winds up mirroring the actual opinion, it avoids a ruling on a major hot topic in an election year, but gives the Biden administration a temporary win on procedural grounds because it will broaden access to emergency abortion, at least in the short term.
Fox's Shannon Bree. More troubles for Boeing. Already facing possible criminal charges over alleged violations of a settlement with the U.S. over deadly plane crashes overseas. Boeing's being sanctioned, accused of improperly sharing information about the investigation into the door plug blowout on an Alaska Airlines flight. And there's yet another whistleblower complaint questioning Boeing manufacturing safety. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey guys, Donald Trump Jr. here. Let me ask you this. Does inflation feel worse than what we're being told in the news? That's because the official inflation rate doesn't tell the whole story. Since January 2021, the cost of living has increased by 17.9%. You can't get that money back. But what you can do is stop your losses today. How? By diversifying your savings into a gold IRA from my friends at Birch Gold Group. When you're done, your money will be parked in a tangible asset with a proven history. To see how it works, get your free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. I trust Birch Gold. They provide an easy process to roll over your 401k or IRA into gold without losing your tax advantaged status. So text PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold.
Message it.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the KPEL News app. Now the headlines from the KPEL News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Thursday, June 27th. Former Youngsville Police Chief Ricky Boudreau has announced that he will run for the seat he previously held. Boudreau officially retired last August, citing serious health issues as his reason for stepping away. At the time, Boudreau was also the target of an investigation over possible malfeasance. Interim Police Chief Cody Louvier is hoping to hold the position permanently and will also be on the ballot for chief. A third person, J.P. Broussard, announced his run earlier this week. Lafayette police have identified the victim in Tuesday night's shooting on Robley Drive as 18-year-old Torrin Martin. They say the three suspects who were arrested after a police chase were booked on charges unrelated to that homicide. Detectives are still actively investigating the shooting. Crowley police are looking for a fugitive. 33-year-old Verice Charles Ozone of Rain is wanted on charges of home invasion and attempted second-degree murder. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Crowley Police or Acadia Parish Crime Stoppers. The Lafayette Parish School System has begun collecting community input as an independent strategic planner continues its evaluation of the district. Community feedback sessions are scheduled on July 17th at 6 o'clock at both Acadiana High and Northside High, and on July 18th at 6 o'clock at Southside High. LPSS is also asking Lafayette residents to take a brief survey about community priorities. That survey is posted at lpssonline.com. LCG is hosting a public meeting to provide the community with an update on the Brown Park project. The information about construction and milestones follows a public meeting in March when officials gathered information from the community. The meeting is scheduled for July 10th at 6 o'clock at the Dupuy Rec Center. Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that would have given his office the ability to pardon, without pardon board recommendation, certain first-time offenders who are guilty of possessing less than 14 grams of marijuana. Landry's veto letter says the bill is an attempt to have the state accept President Biden's invitation to join his soft-on-crime, no consequences for criminals agenda. New Orleans Representative Delisha Boyd, who sponsored the bill, says the intent was not to prevent people from being arrested, but rather an attempt to give individuals a second chance so they would have a fair opportunity at things like employment and housing that require a criminal background check. A Louisiana businessman says his insurance rates are up over 40%, and he's not sure how long he can take it. Todd Hine, the owner of Hine Environmental Services, a small waste services business in Sulphur, says he's been told auto insurance rates are going up because of the state's legal climate. Hine says his insurance payments went from $300,000 to over $1 million, which he was able to negotiate down. Hine met with Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, who told him insurance relief would come from tort reform legislation. However, that's on hold after Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that attempted to prevent windfall judgments for car crash victims. Landry expressed concern the bill would prevent a car crash victim from getting the judgment they deserved and would hurt the everyday working citizen. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Taking a look at traffic conditions right now, we have a stalled vehicle in the 100 block of South College Road. That is a stalled vehicle in the 100 block of South College Road. Also, still working that minor accident in Industrial Parkway at Pinhook. That's 118 Industrial Parkway near its intersection with Pinhook. So if you're headed to those areas, please allow yourself some extra time and stay safe on the roads this morning. Good morning. Welcome back. Acadiana's Morning News on KPEL. It is 8:09, 8:10 now. Jamie Angel, joined by Tracy Wirtz.
Ricky didn't call back.
Ricky's going to call back.
Oh, he will? Okay. All right. I know, right?
Talk about Buc-ee's a little bit.
Yeah, we did have some app chat about it. JJ in Lafayette said, will instantly be best barbecue in South Louisiana.
I don't know about that.
That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one. Let's see. So we will see about that. And the thing is that I can imagine anytime competition comes in, it's hard, but I really feel like this kind of competition is only going to help things. I wonder if that's Ricky on the phone.
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay. Ricky, is that
Ricky
you?
on the phone.
It's Ricky.
Hi, Ricky.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing?
We doing good. How are you?
Pretty good. Again, I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Uh-oh.
But
we all are.
There was Stuckey's long before Buc-ee's.
Yes.
Buc-ee's, I'm not too sure. First trip I ever made to Texas, I was about 7 years old. And when we walked into Stuckey's, it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife is from Katy, so I've been to Buc-ee's quite a few times.
Right.
But I think, and look, I don't want to poo-poo anybody's idea, but do y'all remember what happened to these businesses whenever Walmart came in? I mean, they shut down hundreds of local businesses. And that's the only thing that kind of concerns me. I'm not from Lafayette.
Right.
I've probably been to Buc-ee's this year more than I've been to Lafayette. But it's something that looks too good to be true sometimes needs to be rethought. And I think it's going to hurt some of the businesses in Lafayette. Shut a bunch of them down. But I'm a Buc-ee's fan. I'll definitely go to it if there's one in Lafayette. I'll probably still stop at them in Texas. But just my thought that it may be detrimental more than it would be appreciated by the local businesses. And that's it. I'm not going to say anymore. Y'all have a great day.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Randy.
And you know that is Ricky.
Ricky. Ricky.
The other R. And I think that's a valid concern. I don't know the answer to it.
I think with gas stations, though,
a lot of times it's about convenience. I mean, there's a reason they call them convenience stores, and I don't think it's just because it's convenient to go grab a carton of milk, right? It's easy to get to that kind of thing.
Buc-ee's is going to be more a department store compared to a convenience store.
Oh, and I don't doubt that.
I agree, but you're still going to have your people who are going to want to go to the other ones because they don't want to deal with that mess. They don't want to deal with the traffic, a lot of the locals, I think, are going to actually stick with their comfortable places because that's what they are.
I think it's more a let's go to Buc-ee's compared to, well, I need a cup of coffee.
Oh, yeah, it's a destination. It really is. Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah. And when you look at Buc-ee's...
But, one thing, kind of like Wally World, if they ain't got it, they can get it. If they can't get it, they don't make it. And if they don't make it, you don't need it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's become less true with the advent of online shopping.
Yeah, because if I don't have to leave my house.
But on the flip side is that Buc-ee's, if they come, I think is going to raise the bar for all the other ones. So, I mean, I'm also a racetrack fan. I love the ShopRite stores. I love Bourbon Street Deli. I love, all of those places that already exist. I love those things. And a lot of them do a really good job. And I think, too, across the convenience store industry, with the popularity of Buc-ee's, one of the things you see on several signs, like billboards saying, pull over here, is really clean bathrooms. That's one area where they have definitely raised the bar across the board, You
don't have to wait to get to a gas pump. That's, y'all was saying earlier, 100 gas pumps at most of them.
Mm-hmm. Their gas prices are typically pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
I said their gas prices are typically pretty competitive. They're
yeah, and I don't think it's going to be the gas price that's going to make or break them. Don't even think that's going to come close. It's going to put a lot of people to work at good, like y'all was saying, good salaries, and that's great. But that's going to lose employees for the regular ones that are open now, for the local ones, and is these convenience stores really local businesses? Most of them are not. They're chains.
Right.
There's a lot of locals, but there's a bunch of chains. And if nothing else, it'll make the chain stores step up their game.
Right. Yep. I agree.
And probably help pay their people more. It's just sometimes when you look at a picture, it's beautiful until you really look into the details.
Right.
And I still have a sore spot for Walmart because of what they did to the local businesses.
Yeah.
But hey, the world turns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it would be a big boon for Lafayette in the area. I really do.
Yeah.
I just was kind of looking at the other side of the coin.
And I think that we need to, there's always good with the bad or bad with good, as the case may be.
Sure.
Ricky, thank you so much for calling this morning and engaging with us. We appreciate that.
Not a problem. Thanks.
If you want to join in like Ricky, 232-1542, 337-232-1542, or you can reach us on the app chat through the KPEL News app. It is 8:16. We'll be back.
Fox on Tech.
The cyborgs have arrived, not necessarily from the future, and we don't know if they're targeting future resistance leaders. Tokyo University says their scientists are successfully attaching real human skin to the face of robots. This is accomplished by copying human skin tissue and then tying it down to the artificial material that makes up the underlying face bones, if you will, of the robot's visage. Those tie-downs are made of elastin and collagen. They're essentially ligaments. The end result isn't something resembling a young and brawny Arnold Schwarzenegger, but the skin more easily moved with the robot's movement, unlike a synthetic covering. And if it did tear, it healed itself. The researchers say they'll spend years learning about the applications for these techniques, but it could be useful to learn things about aging or plastic and reconstructive surgery. With Fox on Tech, I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
Got a case of the I don't know what I want to eat? We'll check the dining by district page at eatlafayette.com and choose a restaurant. While dining, check in using your digital passport to win a 3-night getaway with airfare from Wings Travel to Austin, Texas for 2. Eatlafayette.com from Lafayette Travel.
Democracy 24.
Ahead of the CNN presidential debate in Atlanta, Trump campaign surrogates held a Black American business leaders barbershop roundtable, and the former president himself called in to take some questions. He said as all the legal cases against him have unfolded, his popularity with minorities increased.
The mugshot is the best. It just beat Elvis Presley and Frank Sinatra by a lot, by the way. Beat it by a lot.
Over at the Georgia Capitol building, Biden surrogates held a media availability with 2 Republicans, including former Congressman Adam Kinzinger, who endorsed President Biden Wednesday.
So whatever the campaign asked of me, certainly I'd be open to doing it. I want to make sure that Republicans particularly understand you don't have to agree with everything Joe Biden says, but this is about defending the greatest country in the world.
The debate starts at 9 p.m. There will be no audience, and the microphones will be cut off depending on whose turn it is to speak. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Depend on it.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Take a look at traffic conditions right now. We have a minor traffic accident in the 300 block of Hugh Wallace Road near its intersection with Kali Saloon. That's the 300 block of Hugh Wallace Road. And then still working that minor accident at 118 Industrial Parkway near its intersection with Pimlico. Welcome back to Acadiana's Morning News. It is 8:22 on this Thursday morning. Jamie Angel, Tracy Wertz.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Today, the big news, and you heard it a little bit about it there, in Democracy 24 is the presidential debate tonight. We started talking about it earlier. Of course, Biden and Trump will take the stage. Independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy, as you mentioned earlier, Jamie, failed to meet the threshold of 15%. I was looking, just kind of reading through things, and I'm going to try to find the right one. It said that, hang on, I want to make sure I get this right. After the coin flip or whatever, Trump will get the final word of the night.
Boy, that'd be fun.
Oh, my gosh. President Biden got to choose whether he wanted to be on the right or the left side. I don't know which one he chose. Their mics, of course, will be muted except when it is their turn to speak. And, you know, I've because my brain is weird and, you know, it goes in strange places. I've been thinking a lot about it. And, you know, I think that people will be watching more because they're interested in the mannerisms and the facial expressions and whether or not the quote unquote rules that have been put into place are actually effective and achieve the goals that they want them to achieve.
They're not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the microphone's muted. They're not being an audience. You can't, that you can't obviously overcome. Sticking to time limit. I'm going to just have my popcorn, you know.
Absolutely.
Of course, they will focus on, or the expectation is that they will focus on the hot button issues. CNN has not released what the topics will be or what the questions will be, but, you know, you're talking about abortion rights,
election integrity,
election integrity, Trump's felony conviction, immigration, inflation, all of those things that are most definitely pain points for the American people at large. You can watch it on all the networks.
All of them.
All the networks.
Even Telemundo, PBS.
Yeah. I mean, you know, can you imagine trying to translate either of those candidates into Spanish?
You know, and I flew it in Spanish.
Really?
And, I wouldn't want to do that.
No.
No puedo.
I mean, that's, you know, grab your popcorn, sit back, pick a channel. Of course, it's being hosted by CNN and will take place in Atlanta at the CNN headquarters.
Well, we have a caller. Let's see if they want to chime in. Go ahead, caller. You're live. What you got?
Yeah. Making my popcorn ball, getting my popcorn ready, get whatever I need to get ready, and the debate tonight, and
you excited?
And everything else, and my prediction is Biden gonna win tonight, and that's it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for that. All righty.
Popcorn ready.
Yeah. He's a frequent caller.
Yeah.
Which is kind of one of the reasons that I seldom took calls on the air. I'm going to be honest, in full transparency. Tracy Words, Jamie Angel. And remember, Jamie's going to be driving the bus all by himself come Monday. You will
by my lonesome.
You'll be left in very capable hands.
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you so much for that call. But debate tonight, 8:00 our time. Yeah. You gonna watch? You gonna record?
I'm gonna watch.
I'm
gonna watch because I'm gonna have to talk about it tomorrow.
Oh, that's true. We will have to have the discussion tomorrow.
I think we're both gonna have to watch it.
You know, a lot of times those things give me anxiety, like bad. And so what I'll do is I will quote unquote watch them on Twitter because Twitter's a great place to follow things like that, and that way and then I'll go back or I'll watch it like on delay. So that I kind of know what's coming. Because I'm the girl that does not like the horror movies because I don't like to be startled. I don't like to be scared. I don't like to, that anxiety thing is real. And so if I know it's coming, I know that one of them's going to make a big stumble or.
So this is like a horror movie to you.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Full disclosure. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So, you might get the Twitter version of my analysis tomorrow morning.
Only one way to find out. Tune in. But for now, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back. Stay with it.
This is House Call for Health. A girl in Illinois gets more than 100 board games for her birthday. 10-year-old Maya Schaub raised more than $1,000 on GoFundMe and used the money to buy 130 board games. The games, though, aren't for Maya. She donated them to Advocate Children's Hospital.
I know going to the hospital can be scary, especially for kids. I want kindness to be contagious and everybody to appreciate each other and respect each other. Candyland, Micro, Series, Simon. We got a lot of games.
Certified child life specialist at the hospital, Katie Steinberg, telling Fox TV affiliate WFLD, quote, "It blew me away when she told me how much she raised and how many board games she got and the care that she puts into all of her donations. You can tell that she is such a caring person." Maya's past service projects include Birthday in a Box for people who couldn't risk getting sick during the pandemic and a free food pantry outside a public library. For more health news, go to foxnewshealth.com. House Call for Health, I'm Anna Eliopoulos, Fox News.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Your 24/7 news source, on air, online, and with the Cape Hill News app. Now the headlines from the Cape Hill News Center.
Good morning. I'm Tracy Wirtz with a look at news on this Thursday, June 27th. Former Youngsville Police Chief Ricky Boudreau has announced that he will run for the seat he previously held. Boudreau officially retired last August, citing serious health issues as his reason for stepping away. At the time, Boudreau was also the target of an investigation over possible malfeasance. Interim Police Chief Cody Louvier is hoping to hold the position permanently and will also be on the ballot for chief. A third person, J.P. Broussard, announced his run earlier this week. Lafayette police have identified the victim in Tuesday night's shooting on Robley Drive as 18-year-old Torrin Martin. They say the three suspects who were arrested after a police chase were booked on charges unrelated to that homicide. Detectives are still actively investigating the shooting. Crowley police are looking for a fugitive. 33-year-old Verice Charles Ozone of Rain is wanted on charges of home invasion and attempted second-degree murder. Anyone with information on his whereabouts is asked to call Crowley Police or Acadia Parish Crime Stoppers. The Lafayette Parish School System has begun collecting community input as an independent strategic planner continues its evaluation of the district. Community feedback sessions are scheduled on July 17th at 6 o'clock at both Acadiana High and Northside High, and on July 18th at 6 o'clock at Southside High. LPSS is also asking Lafayette residents to take a brief survey about community priorities. That survey is posted at lpssonline.com. LCG is hosting a public meeting to provide the community with an update on the Brown Park project. The information about construction and milestones follows a public meeting in March when officials gathered information from the community. The meeting is scheduled for July 10th at 6 o'clock at the Dupuy Rec Center. Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that would have given his office the ability to pardon, without pardon board recommendation, certain first-time offenders who are guilty of possessing less than 14 grams of marijuana. Landry's veto letter says the bill is an attempt to have the state accept President Biden's invitation to join his soft-on-crime, no consequences for criminals agenda. New Orleans Representative Delisha Boyd, who sponsored the bill, says the intent was not to prevent people from being arrested, but rather an attempt to give individuals a second chance so they would have a fair opportunity at things like employment and housing that require a criminal background check. A Louisiana businessman says his insurance rates are up over 40%, and he's not sure how long he can take it. Todd Hine, the owner of Hine Environmental Services, a small waste services business in Sulphur, says he's been told auto insurance rates are going up because of the state's legal climate. Hine says his insurance payments went from $300,000 to over $1 million, which he was able to negotiate down. Hine met with Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple, who told him insurance relief would come from tort reform legislation. However, that's on hold after Governor Jeff Landry vetoed a bill that attempted to prevent windfall judgments for car crash victims. Landry expressed concern the bill would prevent a car crash victim from getting the judgment they deserved and would hurt the everyday working citizen. That's a look at your news. I'm Tracy Wirtz. The Louisiana Highway Safety Commission is committed to developing and implementing strategies aimed at saving lives and preventing injuries on our highway.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Right now, traffic.
Take a look at traffic conditions right now. We have a minor accident that just popped up. 6,000 block, 6100 block of Johnson Street near Cresslawn Street in Lafayette. The 6100 block of Johnston near Cresslawn. And still working a minor accident, 300 block of Hugh Wallace Road near Kali Saloon. So if you're hitting the road this morning, be careful out there. Drive safe. So many buttons, Trace. So many buttons.
You're going to do fine. And you know, when I first started driving the bus by myself, I would tell people, I would apologize. I'm like, y'all, please just be patient with me because there's a lot of buttons. And when I started in radio 5 minutes ago, the board was much different. And so
many buttons.
Yeah, and what's even more interesting is that the board in each studio is different. The foundations are the same, but which button you need to press so that the listeners can hear whatever changes. It's very strange. So it's not like, oh, I can just hop across the hall and just drive the bus and it's the same. No, it's not like a car. Like you can't just get in one and it just doesn't work that way.
That's the one thing I miss about TV. It just kind of had to show up and sit there.
Yeah. I remember, and just a quick story, when I went to college 5 minutes ago, everything happened 5 minutes ago. I remember, I was in broadcast production, and in our production class, you had to sit in the director's chair for television. That was like, you just had to do it. It's part of your training, right? And I remember I sat there and I felt like I was at the control board on the Starship Enterprise. And it looks even more fancy now. And I was nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof. I thought, put me in front of the camera anytime because this is way too complicated. And I had already, I was already in radio at that time. But television, you add that element of video and game changer. Just completely different game. Speaking of games, bingo, presidential debate bingo, you know it was coming.
I did.
Yeah. And not only that, okay, USA Today released 4 different bingo cards that you can use.
Oh, I'm going to have to pull these up.
Yeah. And then they even released the drinking game. Yeah, it won't take long to get drunk, by the way. There's bingo cards everywhere. There's all sorts of different, let's see. New York Post has one, and I know a lot of these are left-leaning, but a bingo card's a bingo card, right? On this one is the wall, voter fraud, Justice Department, 2-tiered justice system, American dream, open borders, weaponization, fake news, Jack Smith, Constitution, laptop, Georgia, China, Hunter Biden, Fauci, Democrat-run cities, rigged election, American people, Mayorkas, woke DAs, Israel, Bidenomics, Biden crime family, critical race theory. So all of those are on that particular card.
You want to hear what's on mine?
Sure.
Gun control.
Okay.
Election interference.
Uh-huh.
Quote, make the wealthy corporations pay their fair share.
Uh-huh.
Reproductive rights, Social Security, crime, border, American, education, economy. Finish the job. January 6th, felony, make America great again. Age, 34 counts. China. Backbone, soul of the nation. Drug prices, climate change, workers, immigration, democracy, and spending.
Yeah, some of those. This probably is one of my favorite ones. And Axios put it out. Crooked, a WTF anecdote, drug test, China, January 6th, someone trips. Mods accused of not playing fair. Come on, man. Obama, 34 counts. Putin, perfectly innocent. Free space. Trump debuts a new nickname. I love Trump nicknames. They're great. Convicted felon. Inflation blame game. Folks. Reference to age. Trump insults a city. Border crisis. Mentions non-existent person or place. Rigged. Infrastructure. Awkward brag about black voter support. And the final one's Hunter Biden. This is probably my favorite. Look, all you have to do if you want to find one, presidential debate bingo card. And here's the thing. I know the presidential elect, it's serious. It is serious who runs this country, but we all know at this stage of the game, first of all, this is very early for a debate. The conventions haven't even happened.
I have my own theories on that. I think it's multi-pronged.
Really? Okay.
Yes. So one, they want to see early enough, obviously. I think everyone probably realizes this. They want to see early enough what President Biden's cognitive status is. See how he does, so that if it's really bad, if he does really bad, that's why they're setting the bar so low. So if he does even slightly good, we're good. They're good. But if he does really bad, it gives them time for a few things. One, it's to replace him at the top of the ticket if that's what they choose to do. Two, and I've been saying this, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, her health is not very good. Hasn't been for a while.
Okay.
And I think that part of doing it early was to see if there was even a remote chance that President Biden was still going to be the president for the next 4 years, to determine whether or not she should step down early so that Democrats can fill her seat because they still have that upper hand in Congress. Or, to see if she can hang on if they think the president will win another term, and then that'll afford more time to retire.
Talk about political chess.
That's Jamie Angel's opinion.
Right. Right.
Nobody paid for it, so.
Well, no, that's okay. It's free to listen to the radio or not. We just hope you will keep doing it. And I don't know if it was Moon. I don't know if it was Dan Bongino. I don't know if it was a bunch of different people. And I would be interested in your take on this, Jamie. Is there's speculation that Joe Biden will get the Democratic nomination, but they will pull a switcheroo very shortly thereafter on the grounds that, the president's health has declined, or, that something that really already exists is going to happen magically, and that's going to happen, and then they're going to pull a switcheroo.
I think there's a lot of oh no's going on. not oh no's, but I can't say the other word on the radio.
Yeah,
I think the DNC is kind of scrambling right now because they really, if they were smart, they would have tried to replace him
right
a year ago.
Right.
Agreed. Let him finish out the rest of his term.
But then they leave themselves with egg on their face because they hold the office. So there's obviously, an advantage there. And they'll be left with egg on their face if they say our guy can't handle another 4 years outright.
But at the same time, I think they were like, if he decides not to run with the heir apparent, we don't know if we want her to be.
No, I would agree with that. So they are in a real pickle too. And what we know, I'm not going to say what I think, but what we know, according to all the pundits going into this election, is that there's passion for Trump, whether that's for or against him. There's emotion involved. There's no positive emotion involved with Biden, and the Democrats don't have enough passion for him to motivate them to go to the polls. So
and I don't think they were counting on the support he received after he was convicted. I don't think anyone, they had it in their minds that this is going to be the nail in the, and lo and behold, absolutely not. You screwed yourself.
Yep. And so tonight's debate, again, it's very early. And sometimes you got to laugh or you'll cry. I mean, that might be the word of the day for today. And it's definitely going to be something that's interesting. And again, I think that the majority of people are going to be watching not to find out what their opinions are on the issues, because we know that.
Treat each other.
How they treat each other, how they speak, what they say, that kind of thing, in terms that what they say and how they say it versus what they say about a particular issue. I mean, we know what that is, right? We know what that is.
We think we know.
Yeah. So we'll stick to gentlemen on stage and watch them.
That's right.
Verbally.
Well, if you want to share your thoughts with us, we have a few minutes left after this next break. Call us 337-232-1542 or send us a message to the app chat on the KPEL app. Time now 8:47. We'll be back.
Securing America.
Several weeks after President Biden took executive action to limit illegal migrant crossings at the southern border, Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says the measures are having a positive effect.
Across the entire southern border, Border Patrol encounters have dropped by over 40%.
Mayorkas was in Tucson, Arizona Wednesday.
We are imposing stricter consequences for those who cross the border without authorization.
However, the recent killings of a Maryland mother of 5 and a 12-year-old girl from Houston, in which illegal migrants are the suspects, the arrests of 8 Tajikistani nationals with ties to ISIS, and a new report that DHS has identified over 400 people brought to the U.S. by an ISIS-affiliated smuggling network all raise concerns. Mayorkas says,
if an individual is of concern from a national security or a public safety perspective, they are a priority for detention.
Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Quiet conditions out there for the first part of the day, but we will see showers and thunderstorms arriving by the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies for the back half of the day as well. Overnight lows in the upper 70s. We will quiet down overnight tonight, but showers and thunderstorms will be back tomorrow afternoon. Similar forecast coming up for your Friday. Much hotter out there and drier for Saturday as a ridge is expanding in the area, and it will stay hot and dry into next week. From the Storm Team 3 Weather Lab, I'm KTC meteorologist Daniel Phillips on News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Have to let the good part
I know, right? Africa. I do like that song.
It's Thursday.
It is 8:52. We've been talking about the presidential debates. We have a few minutes left in the show tonight, 8 o'clock. All the networks, you can watch it. The first one of the season. And we wanted your thoughts. So Chad gave us a call. Let's see if Chad's on the line. Good morning, Chad.
Good morning, Miss Tracy. Good morning, Miss Jamie. Hope you're having a good day. Good morning so far.
Good morning to you. It's better now that you've called.
That's right. What's going on with you?
Thank you very much. I'll take that as a huge compliment.
What you got?
Okay, I'm going to cut to the chase, Miss Tracy, Mr. Jamie. Listen, President Trump, and I'm going to say it loud and proud for all KPEL listeners, it will be, hopefully, prayerfully, Donald J. Trump as our next president. All President Trump has to do is just sit back, take good notes, listen and pay attention, and just, let Joe Biden gaffe, do this, do that. But the minute Joe Biden stumbles, President Trump needs to be like a shark. Joe Biden just drew blood, go in for the attack, and don't stop.
Well, you know he's not going to stop.
Yeah. I don't think there's a question there, Chad. I think that he's going to, the thing that I'm going to be most interested to see is if he abides by the time limits, which he probably won't. Let's be honest. And
believe it or not, I believe he will. Believe it or not,
you think so?
Oh, I think he will.
You think so?
The President Trump we're going to see tonight is going to be the most refined and polished president.
He's learned his lessons from previous debates.
Oh, see, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
I mean, notice how he's been building up.
Miss Tracy, go on places.
He's been building up the former president. I mean, he's been building up President Biden. Talking about he's a skilled debater.
Right.
He's trying to set that
And
standard.
that's the whole idea. Look, Biden can slap his gums all he wants on CNN, CBS, MSLSD, CBS, ABC, ESPN. He can do that all he wants. Donald Trump just needs to kick back, be like a cat and like I said, a cat and a shark. Just kind of chill out, but mind your business. But the minute you see that individual make the wrong move, you go in. You stalk that prey.
All right.
Look,
you just made this even more interesting than it was already going to be for me. I'm just letting you know that, Chad. So thank you so much.
Thanks, Chad.
Thank you, man.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about that, but yeah. I mean, I guess that's the thing is that I haven't really seen that switch up yet.
I think the thing with Biden is 90 seconds is going to be just long enough for him to finally get out of the stumble
and finish the sentence.
The first 45 seconds can be.
Can you imagine being the translator of that?
I'm being ugly. I shouldn't. I'm sorry. I take it back.
No, you don't.
I do.
No,
you know what?
don't.
God don't like ugly.
No, he doesn't.
I pray for our president, our farmer. I pray for all of them.
Yeah.
And I want them to do what's best for us as citizens.
Well, and I think that's the thing is right now we are financially in pain. Those of us who are just going to work every day, doing what we need to do, whether we are going to the grocery store to put food on the table or trying to buy a house or trying to buy a car or doing anything that we need to do to continue our professions, our careers, et cetera, and live a decent life, we're feeling the pain. And that's, to me, the hot button issue. Immigration, crime, all of that, absolutely. But I think right now, people are like, this hurts, and I don't like the way it hurts.
We're going to have lots to talk about tomorrow morning, you and I. So we'll bring some extra caffeine. think we'll both be up a little late taking notes.
Right, absolutely. Oh yeah. I'll be all over Twitter trying to see what everybody's saying.
Well, thank y'all for spending your morning with us. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Tracy Wirtz with me, Jamie Angel.
Have a good day. God bless.
The Fox Business Report is brought to you by Gulf Coast Bank, your local community bank. Whether your financial needs are for an individual, a business, or for the whole family, Gulf Coast Bank has the knowledge and products to serve you best. With 9 convenient locations throughout Acadiana, you're never far from a friendly Gulf Coast Bank associate.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Economic growth was a little stronger than first reported at the start of the year, but the reading is still the slowest growth since the spring of 2022. The gross domestic product for the first quarter has been revised higher from 1.3% at an annual pace to 1.4%. Another reading suggests the industrial side of the economy is still seeing weakness. Durable goods orders rose only 0.1% in May. Also, there's little change in the latest reading on the number of people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time. New claims declined by 6,000 last week to 233,000. Drugstore chain Walgreens Boots Alliance says it's reviewing about a quarter of its U.S. stores. Hundreds of underperforming locations could be closed in coming years. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
Success. It's discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us that comes before all recognition. It's the best of each of us made better by the best in all of us. It's what Stifel's been doing for over 130 years. And it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management and investment banking firms in the industry. Stifel. It's where success meets success. Start your journey at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIP.
Every day at 5 p.m. right here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL, it's me, Joe Cunningham, with The Joe Cunningham Show, offering you news, analysis, and commentary you're not going to get anywhere else. The big news stories of the day, and even some of the headlines you may not be aware of. It's your local, state, and national news coverage from a local perspective right here. Every day, News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Check us out, The Joe Cunningham Show, every day at 5 p.m.